So we're on the road again, however that song goes. So we just left Panola and we're heading towards, which is a long drive today, to Victor Harbor. And Walter started the day off very well because he started off in the wrong direction and also on the wrong side of the road. But we seem to have that all settled out now. So we're off to Victor Harbor, and that's how many kilometers?
400, about 400.
About 400 kilometers. So it's going to be a long drive. Right now it's 8:14 in the morning, and it's nice and clear. Last night, about 4 o'clock this morning, I woke up to this sound like hurricane winds. I don't think they were hurricanes. It's just how the winds sound here. Some rain with it. A tree outside was banging on the roof of our hotel, which the roofs here are all seem to be made of metal. And Walter says they probably don't have much insulation either, so you hear everything. And you could sound like a real storm, but yeah, it's nice and clear now.
All the wineries.
Oh, we're passing the wineries over here. You can see the vineyards. This is wine country, one of many wine countries I think they have in Australia. That's the Blarney Block, according to the sign. And more over here on the other side of the road as well. So I know a few of you have been commenting on my pronunciation or my mispronunciation of place names. Yeah, okay, I know I don't do it very well, but you know, thank you to the Aussies who have tried to spell it out for me phonetically so I can figure out how to say it. But I would just put this out there to the Aussies. Then how do you say M-I-S-S-I-S-S-A-U-G-A? Or how do you say O-S-H-A-W-A? Let's go for that, shall we? No, I'm just kidding. Don't worry, I don't take offense to that. I know I'm mispronouncing the names of the places. I mispronounce the names of the places where I live, too. So that's nothing new for me. Kind of ironic, I was an English teacher. Oh, well. And you were saying?
Well, Victor Harbor. Harbor is spelled B-O-R, which we would say is an American spelling. But in British or Canadian English, it would be B-O-U-R, right? But I read somewhere, and I don't recall exactly where, but there's something that it was established and they made a misspelling in the name, and it just sort of stuck.
Oh. Yeah, that's their story and they're sticking to it. Okay. But anyways, there's a few little droplets here of stuff on the windshield, which I'm getting in the picture, but can't do much about that. And with the number of trucks that we heard going down this road last night, big trucks, I'm suspecting we will see some roadkill again today. So, always something to look forward to in Australia. A little bit more of the roadside scenery. We're past the vineyards now. Just some interesting trees. A little different from what we're used to seeing in North America. See the kangaroos? No, none of the kangaroos are down there. But no roadkill yet. Okay, sheep. Must be in sheep country right now because there seems to be a lot of sheep here and there. Now, of course, just as soon as I put up the camera to get them on video, I don't see any sheep now because the trees are hiding the sheep. Can't see the sheeps for the forest. Babas out there, no babas out there, no babas out there. Okay, no babas. Okay, we're coming up a whole bunch of sheep here. See them? There they are. There's all the babas. The little woolly creatures. Okay, like who hasn't seen sheep? But have you ever seen Australian sheep? That's the point. And Walter has a question. Your question is?
Where do you get virgin wool from?
Ugly sheep. Reminds me of that Far Side comic where the wolves are at a party, and one wolf has a sheep by its hind legs and his head buried in a big pot of like chip dip, and the one wolf says to the other wolf, well, I'm sold, you've got to try Gladys's sheep dip. Had to be there. And this is a little place that I'll probably mess the name up on, called Court. Yeah, someone will have to correct me on that one because I'm sure I probably haven't got it
In
right.
700 meters, turn left on Deviation Road.
And our little girlfriend here, she wants us to turn left on Deviation Road, whatever that is. But according to our maps, that's not what we need to do. So
400 meters.
we'll see what's coming up here with it. So this is what this little town looks like. Well, I'm calling it a little town. I'm not sure how little it is.
This is A66 turn.
Oh, well, follow the Deviation Road. I'll bet you what it is a bypass of the town.
Yeah.
Because that's
Turn
where we
left
want
on
to go.
Deviation Road.
A66.
Yeah. And going to Keith, and that's what we're supposed to do. So yeah, I'll bet you it's a little.
In 1 kilometer, enter the roundabout.
Oh, very good. The wipers didn't go off when you put on the signal. Whoa, third day. Maybe finally getting the hang of that. So yeah, it must be a road that kind of bypasses the town.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
So let's experience a roundabout. They've got a lot of them over here. We're coming up to 500 meters. So there's the sign there that shows you that you're hitting a roundabout. And we're supposed to take the second exit.
At the roundabout, take the second exit to Stewart Terrace.
Big truck.
What's this guy doing?
I don't know. Well, that guy didn't know where they want to go, I guess. So one exit, second exit. Isn't that thrilling? That's a roundabout. Some more of the road, the trees. Sorry, is this a vineyard? Yeah, looks like it. Like, these are huge. They go for miles in behind. Maybe a better shot over here, get an idea of it. But they just keep going from back of the road, like for miles and miles and miles. They make it like the vineyards in Ontario look like little garden things, like little home garden patches. And yet, we can't get that many different Australian wines in Ontario.
No, I know, but still, the fact, I guess, that you get some is that these vineyards are so huge that they produce tons and tons and tons of grapes.
Which the wine industry in Australia is a relatively new industry when it comes to winemaking, because they were always known for beer, as being beer drinkers. But now it looks like
down the roads there, how big they are.
Like, they're huge. Okay, so all these ones that are so huge that we've been driving by for a while, they're actually Lindemans, which of course we can get Lindemans in our...
It's cheap.
And it's cheap, yeah, like it's not a bad price. It's cheaper than Ontario wines. We've been drinking,
that's probably why.
We've been drinking more Lindemans lately than anything else. That and Jacobs Creek. But Jacobs Creek's a little more expensive, and we're not in Jacobs Creek country. Okay, you might want to stay on the road.
I am on the road.
I'll do the watching, you do the driving. Once again, that little white line over here is not good to cross. Especially because it's my side of the car. And this is some little sleepy town of something. I don't know how to say it. Kunal Pin? No idea how to say it. And that was it. Okay, so we've been on this same road now for several hours, and it's really boring. Right now you see all these trees, but it's really flat land. In a lot of spots it's like traveling across the prairies in Western Canada, which is equally as boring. With this, you keep seeing signs for like fatigue kills, drowsy drivers die. That's really encouraging, isn't it? There's rest stops along the side of the road fairly frequently, but there's really no major towns along here. Most of them are eye blinkers. You go through, they got one little thing sitting there, and that's it. So, yeah, if you're going to drive from Panola to Victor Harbor, be prepared for absolute and utter boredom. And we've been trying to see what's on the radio, but there seems to be only about 2 stations. One of them is a Christian one, and the other one plays music I've never heard of, and if I have heard of it, it's from 40 years ago. Okay, this sort of looks like it's salt flats. We're not absolutely sure. You can see the white part? Not the pipe.
Maybe it's just scum.
Yeah, it could be just scum. I don't know what it is. You can also see here this big pipeline which has been running along here for a long, long time. It's been right along with us most of the route. I don't know if it's oil or what it is.
It's probably oil or something.
But you can see how flat the land is here. In the distance there's some like low hills. But as far as road trips are concerned, this is not the most exciting one on this section today. As we move closer to Victor
Looks like the
Harbor.
land won't support any trees either. It's all bushes.
Yeah, so it could be salt.
Yeah.
But where's the salt come from?
Wow.
Oh well. Is there pepper too? It's the salt and pepper flats. Okay, just to show you where we started from today, we started down here in Panola, and we've been following this route up here near Nera Court, probably not saying that right, all the way along up here to Keith, and then to Tintinera, and all the way up here, almost to Tellum Bend. But this is the point where we've changed, and we're coming down this little piece of road here. You see where it says Wellington. We're going to go across the top of this lake and over here to, not sure how you say that one either, Strathovine. Oh god, I'm mispronouncing this really badly. And then we travel down to Victor Harbor. So you can see it's quite a distance, 400 kilometers. And most of it has been very, very straight road.
Boring.
And very boring. Very little in between. So if you ever do this, be prepared for it to be boring. Okay, don't always trust your GPS, because this was taking us down. It seemed very logical on the map, the route it was taking us, from the route that Walter had plotted out on Google Maps. But we got down here, and it wants you to take a ferry. Now, it looks like it's a short little ferry ride, a little river thing. But Walter didn't want to chance that. So we're backtracking a little bit, not a lot. It's only a couple of kilometers or so. But it is a little longer route.
Keep left on Princess Highway.
Okay, bitch, shut up. Anyways, so we're backtracking a little bit, and we're going to take the route that was originally plotted out by Google Maps. I don't know, the ferry kind of thing, we're not sure what that involves and all that, so we're just not going to take the chance. So it's going to take us a little longer, but it's not a big deal. Sometimes it's good to have a map as well as a GPS. What she wanted to do, and it seemed logical at the time, was to take us down here and across here, which is a shorter route than going up and around here and down here. However, what we did not notice on the map was there is a river that runs into this lake right here, and it's at that point where it wanted us to take a ferry. And Walter's not comfortable going on the ferry with a rented car, so we backtracked up to here, and now we are in around here somewhere, and we'll eventually come up to here to this green road, Eastern Freeway, and then down onto this, which was the original plan that Walter had mapped out from Google Maps before. So we're back on track right now. It didn't take us that much out of our way, so not a big deal. But just to let you know, you can't always trust technology alone. Well, now that we're coming closer to Victor Harbor, the scenery has changed a little bit. It's not flat anymore. It's kind of rolling hills, more trees, more greenery, more hairpin turns. Well, not really a hairpin turn, but yeah, so you can see how things change in this country as far as landscape is concerned pretty quickly. And this is Port Elliot, and it's just, we're very close to Victor Harbor, less than 5 kilometers away from it. Yeah, it's a cute little place. Okay, so we made it to Victor Harbor, and we're outside of the hotel we're staying in. I'll get a picture of it later. We're a little early. It's called the Anchorage. And we're a little early, so we can't check out until 2. So we thought we'd have lunch while we're here. So we're getting a couple of pizzas and a couple of beers. And we'll see from there. But here you've got a bit of a view of the ocean. We're supposed to have a balcony, which I'm assuming is what's up top there. Yeah. The balconies don't look like they're really private balconies.
Oh,
They look like a long terrace. I don't know. Hard to tell from there, but that's okay. We're only here one night. So, it was a bit of a journey getting here, but we're here now. So, and I think we're close to where their little downtown might be, so yeah, we can explore that later too. Okay, just had a little accident. There's tomato on the pizza. I picked up one, I bit into the tomato, and it just blew up all over Walter on his shirt and his pants. He's not happy about that. Right now, I wouldn't be either, but I'm just doing what he would do. I'm laughing. Okay, so this is our room. It's a spa room. So we have a 4-poster bed. We have a private balcony. We have a fairly decent sized fridge. And of course, we have a jacuzzi tub.
right there. I'd go in further, but Walter's got his pants off because he's trying to get the tomato stains that I put all over him out of it. So they said they have a special tonight, being Valentine's Day, down in their dining room. And because we're staying here, if we decide to book in there, that we get a free glass of wine. So we're gonna go down in a few minutes and check out their menu to see what's on there. And we may or may not go there tonight. I think every place will be busy tonight, of course. So it might not be a bad idea, even if it costs maybe a little bit more, but everything will cost a little bit more tonight, just to make arrangements to have dinner here. We'll see. Okay, this is where we're staying, and they're very nice. However, we made reservations for the restaurant inside tonight for 7:30. They do have a special menu, plus you can order off the regular menu. They have kangaroo on it and a lot of seafood, so we won't be having that, so I guess we'll be probably ordering off the regular menu, but I did notice they had a steak on there, so we might have that. Yeah, it'll probably be okay. They seem a little disorganized in the kitchen area, because when I said, what's this, do you have tonight a special menu? And she thought they did, but she had asked the cook because he hadn't written it out yet. So, anyways, it's kind of a neat little place. It's an older hotel. It's got some personality to it. And we do have a private balcony. We're right down there on the very far end, up at the top. So we've got a view of the ocean. So that's kind of nice too. Okay, so this is downtown, or the town center of...
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, we haven't got there yet? Oh, well, this is not quite the downtown center yet of Victoria Harbor, or Victor Harbor. Yeah, so...
Victor Victoria.
Yeah, Victor Victoria, whatever. Well, I'll just hold off and take some more video when I come to the main downtown. So this is the downtown part of Victor Harbor. Little shops and restaurants and things like that. Quaint little place. Has a shopping center too. We were just in there. Gotta get some booze. And here's just another perspective. There's sort of downtown. There's not a lot here, really. And the stores that are here are kind of like...
There's White Rabbit and LPT.
Where down? It's really more geared to everyday buying, but I've noticed a lot of the people on the streets here are kind of senior citizen income, so I wonder if it's a retirement community.
Well, mind you, it's also during the day.
Well, that could be. Okay, so this is the beach, or the coastline, down here in Victor Harbor. As you can see, I suppose you could down there, if you wanted to go swimming, you probably could. I'm probably picking up all the wind in this, so you probably can't hear most of this, but so just enjoy the view without a commentary.
Smells fishy.
Probably because it is. I don't know how far out there you want to walk. Okay, so this is called Granite Island, and it has a causeway to it for pedestrians, and so we're going to walk across to Granite Island. Why are we doing this? Because there's not a heck of a lot of anything else to do. And here's a little closer look near the end of the causeway to Granite Rock, or Granite Island. Was it rock or island? Granite Island. Right. Tide comes in, tide goes out. Tide comes in, tide goes out. I have no idea whether the tide's coming in or going out.
that's where we came from, and that's where we're going back to. So after our brisk little walk out on that causeway to Granite Island, which was about 0.9 of a kilometer each way, we're now sitting on the balcony of our spa room at the Anchorage Inn, having a beer. And then later, it's Din Din's. Okay, we just came back from dinner in the dining room here, Valentine's Day. They were doing sort of a special evening of that. They had a special menu, but you could pick from the regular menu. The special menu had a lot of seafood and fish and kangaroo. We did not have the kangaroo because I have no idea what they would have charged for the kangaroo, but from what we're seeing here is kangaroo is, I think, an acquired taste, to be quite frank about it. From what we know, it's a little on the tough side and a bit gamey from what we've heard, and that was from natives. But anyways, the one thing I'll say about them is they're so friendly, but they have very different ideas of what service is when it comes to the food industry from what we're used to in Canada. They're very nice. They're used to, though, people coming up to the counter and ordering their food, getting a number, and then they bring it to you. But tonight they were doing sort of a special service where they actually came to your table and took the menu, and they were a little, or your order, they were a little disorganized. Like, we ordered some what they called warm bread with balsamic vinegar and olive oil and something else that I don't know what they called it, but it was granular kind of stuff. It was sort of a spice mix, wasn't it? Or,
yeah.
Which I think what you were supposed to do is, I think you were supposed to dip your bread, like what we have at home.
I tried that, and it was okay, but I didn't really care for the
I tried a little bit
much.
by trip, but the balsamic vinegar and olive oil were in a little pot, a little saucer, as opposed to, well, not even a saucer, in a
pot, like it was like in a jar type thing.
So it didn't mix. I even tried to stir it around to get the oil and the vinegar to mix together.
Well, at home when they do that, they put it in a flat plate.
Yeah, so that because it's oil and it's vinegar, they don't mix very well. Like they have to emulsify, and the only way you can get them to emulsify is to put them in a shaker and shake them. But when they do this at home, like Walter says, they put it on a flat saucer plate, so that they don't really mix. But when you dip the bread in, you get both some of the balsamic vinegar and the oil. In this, all you got was oil, because the balsamic vinegar sunk right to the bottom. I even tried to stir it up with a fork to get it going, and that didn't work. And I can't say that I cared for the taste of the olive oil they used. Their olive oil seemed to be kind of a heavy olive oil, so I don't know. But then that just may be because that's what olive oil here is like, so fine. The bread was very nice, though. I'll say that. It was nice and warm, and it was fresh and the whole bit, and they probably make it here or whatever, so that was okay. But no side plates. I mean, we sat at the table. It's Valentine's Day night, and they have signs all over about book early for Valentine's Day and the whole bit. So you think it might be a little bit more special. So they might have like tablecloths. Not that I need a tablecloth. I mean, I don't care about that. But I'm thinking for guys that might be bringing their wives or their girlfriends for this out, when you want to be a little bit more special, I mean, the prices are not particularly cheap. So, I don't
know. I don't think the prices were really
well, they weren't out of the way. But we ended up having the steak. And it came with what they call roasty or
roasty potatoes or something.
Potatoes, which we've had before, which are kind of like a thick scallop potato that may have been, I don't know, fried a little bit. They come in cubes. They're actually quite tasty. Although the ones we had tonight, they didn't look too pleasant. It was sort of a chunk on your plate, but it tasted okay. Yeah, this tastes okay. And the steak came, and we ordered the medium rare, and then I got thinking afterwards, ooh, that might have made a bit of mistake because it might come blue, and I don't want blue with it. I should have ordered it medium. But no, it was a surprise. The steak was good. It had a peppercorn sauce with it. which was tasty too, nice. And it did come. It didn't say it was going to come with steamed vegetables. It was broccoli, which was fine because I kind of wanted some vegetables because we haven't eaten a lot of vegetables and fruit on this trip. But that was nice. That was okay. But the other thing was, we were told if we made a reservation tonight in the restaurant because it's a special night and because we have a spa room, we would get a free glass of wine. So when we went into the dining room earlier and made the reservation, I did mention that to the girl. She didn't seem to know anything about it, but she was very nice about it. She said, well, I'll check that out. I said, well, it was the lady at the front desk and whatnot. And she went right out and checked it. And she said, oh yes, make a note of it and the whole bit. But they're a little disorganized. As I said, I don't think they're used to doing table service at all. So I think it was throwing them tonight when they were doing that. So I had to mention to them again about the wine, and it made me feel a little uncomfortable because, you know, you feel like you're being a cheapskate because they've offered you a free glass of wine, but they're the ones that offered it. So I figured, now what a glass of wine costs. So anyways, we got that. It's the only choice we had was their house wine, which was a Shiraz, and it was fine. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't that great. But if we'd ordered that by the bottle, it would have been $40 a bottle for it, which
$9 a glass.
Yeah. Well, $8.50 a glass.
Yeah.
Is what it worked out. Well, that's what. Okay. Well, we'll come to that. Anyways, we were going to order a bottle of wine at first, and I said to Walter, you know, I have a feeling by the time we see the wine, we get it and the whole bit, because the way they're doing things, maybe it's not really worth ordering a bottle. I mean, we could get them by the glass. And I said, drink slowly. And needless to say, it did not take long for dinner. And that was fine. So we just had the one glass of wine. So when I went up to the bar to pay, because that's how you do it, I could have put it on through the room, but I figured if I did that, I pretty much figured they would charge me for the wine, just because they seemed to be very confused about that. And I'm glad that I did pay it up front and not put it on the bill, because it was $101, and then walked out there and I got doing the math in my head. The steaks were $35. We got a bottle of sparkling water. I'm not sure how much they charged for that, but even if they charged like $8 to $10 for that, and then and that was all we had. Oh, and the bread was what? $8? $6? Okay. So okay, do the math. 2 steaks, $35 a piece, $70. Add the bread, $76. Remember, everything already includes tax, the whole bit at that. So the bill came to, oh, and then we had the sparkling water, which we're not sure how much that was. But even if the sparkling water was $10, that would put it at $86. I paid $101.50. Now, I did see on the bottom of the menu that it said on public holidays there was a 1.5% surcharge on stuff, because you see, you don't tip them here. So maybe for public holidays that's, you know, extra because maybe it's more work for them, the whole bit, and that's fine. Now, Valentine's Day is not a public holiday. However, I wouldn't have been surprised if they, you know, considered it still a special occasion because they were doing table service sort of a thing, that they would have charged us, and that would have been fine. But the math didn't add up, so I went right back in and I said to her, by chance, I said, did you happen to charge us for the glasses of wine? And she was still a little confused, but she looked up and she says, oh yeah, and she says, that's right, I forgot. You know, very nice, very apologetic, you know, no complaints whatsoever about the people serving us, because they couldn't be nicer. I just felt really cheap. But, you know, that was $17. Like, it was $8.50 for each glass of wine. So $17. So anyways, she gave me, now I paid on my credit card with it. She wasn't really sure how to do a reverse charge on the whole bit, and I sympathize with her because it's not easy to do it. I know from working in retail too with that wasn't going to work. So she just gave it to me in cash, and that's fine, whatever. But the bottom line is, the steaks were good. The wine was so-so, but you know that it's always a hit and miss with wine, depending, unless you know of what you're getting. You know the brand. So I'm not holding that against anybody. A little disorganized. Like I've always said, the Australians are wonderful people, but they're just a little rough around the edges with it all. So I don't know. Walter said it must shock them or something if they ever come to our country. I wonder how they. He said wonders how they cope, like because we do things so differently from that. It must put them right off. Of course, it'll probably put them off when they find out they get see the prices in a menu.
And then you get a 13%
And then they get a bill and go,
and then they still
and they
expect
expect the tip. Yeah, so that must be a shocker to their system too, as well. But anyways, it is what it is. Not the worst I ever had, not the best. It was a lot better than that Best Western we stayed in 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
That food was crap.
That food was awful.
Yeah. So anyways, just a word of advice to friends out there who are, in North America. It's a little different here. So, but that's fine. That's why you travel, to experience different things. Okay. That's enough for today. Tomorrow, where are we going tomorrow?
We're going to Nuriuta or something.
Oh, what's there?
That's the Vineland Hotel in Barossa Valley where all the
The wineries are.
Yeah.
So now we'll get to taste some other different wines and see what that's all about. So anyways, yes, this is wine. It's in a tumbler. Don't ask. Cheers.